Assistant Director, Project Smart City, Kakinada. Very welcome. And then we got Mr. Anfran Mendes. He's from CDS, and CDS or Cognizant is one of our sponsors as well. So he's with us. And Dr. Suresh Nair, again, the major sponsor of the ICACC. He's representing Nest. And Nest is very big on IoT. They are very big in electronics, and they are maybe the major company in India which deals with electronics and especially IoT devices. So we are very blessed to have Nest with us. And who else? Somebody, the guy on the floor. Sohan sir, I already mentioned, right? He's our beloved mayor, ex-mayor. I think Sohan sir doesn't need an introduction. He was a mayor of a Cochin Corporation for quite a long time, and the planning committee member, and also he's part of Cochin Metro. He's also part of Cochin Smart City project. He's all in all. And so a very welcome to Sohan sir. Am I missing anybody? I miss actually the Cochin Metro. They are on the floor today because of some technical reasons, I know. Actually, the MD of Cochin Metro, Dr. Eliazar, was supposed to be here, but the other day he had to flew to he had to apply to Belgium for an important meeting, so that's why he has sent his apologies. Similar is the case with our beloved worshipful mayor, Salmani Jain. She had gone to South Korea yesterday, and there is another apology from MD Smart City, that is Mr. Bajuza. Bajuza had to attend an important meeting in Delhi in the last minute, and again one more apology, that is from Mr. Amit Meena IAS, the Secretary of Cochin Municipal Corporation. Just at 5 o'clock, I got a call from him saying that he has been appointed for an important meeting tomorrow in Delhi, so he's just flying tonight. So that's why he couldn't make it, but he said that he's very interested in these things. And look, all this shows that the people are interested. And I have to make the opening note by quoting, I think, Mark. During the keynote, he was telling, what is smart? Is it the smart devices that we hold in our hand? Does that make smartness in us? He said that it is not. It is the connectivity. How do we connect different aspects and different disciplines? And if we can do that, that is what is all about this big data and everything. And then the city becomes really smart. So that is a kind of insight that he has given. So we are here to connect. Connect the academia, the industry, and the research. Everybody is here, and the government. So let's try to brainstorm for a while. So the question which I would like to put to this eminent panel is, what do you think as a smart city? We have thought about a smart city in many ways. To begin with, I will hand the mic to Sohan sir, the ex-mayor, because in Cochin we got two smart cities. So Balu sir and Sohan sir, they will open up the discussion just to make a distinction between the smart cities that we are talking in Cochin. There are two kinds of smart cities. What are they?
Thank you, Paul. The word smart, there is no definite definition for that. This is relative. In Smart City Kochi, as you rightly put in the beginning, we are the first people in Kerala, rather than in India, to use the word smart city. When Government of India announced 100 smart cities to be developed all over India, so many Government of India officials as well as the people, officials from other states approached us, came here to know what is smart city. We have put the word smart differently in the sense application of IT in all fronts of development, so that at the end of the day, we will get 100% good result without much human intervention. So that the result, our end result will be definite. We have not made it as a program, or we have not announced as our motto and all, but during the selection of all the equipments, we have concentrated on using our application of IT in every front of selection. The minor difference between Smart City Kochi and Kochi Smart City, our Government of India program, is that we are confined into 250 acres of land, whereas the other one is in a larger area. That's the only difference. Otherwise, the implementation is more or less same. Because in Smart City, we are going to, or in the process of establishing a CCC, or Command Control Center, or in the other form it's called City Operations Center, COC, wherein the entire systems, entire functioning of inside the city will be controlled from a control center. For example, when you take up a city, there are transporting systems, water distribution system, power control system, and so on. So how this can be done? There will be control centers independently for all these things. Say in the case of transporting system, if you have a control system, control center, or rather you can say the control center, all the transport, whether it's water transport or metro or this road transport, these are all concentrated and controlled from a control center, whereas what actually we can achieve is, if a bus starts from the Managa station and going on, it will be provided with the RFID and also wireless communication system, so that the movement is tracked from the control system, control center. So all the transportation, like that, whether it is road transport or water transport, the movement of the vehicle is controlled from there, which in turn is pushed to the master control center or city operation center. This is applicable in the case of power distribution, where all the distribution lines, connected nodes, or all the consumers, everybody is monitored from the control center of power station, and which will be pushed back. The data will be pushed back to the master control center, COC. That is exactly we are also following.
Okay. I think so Balu sir has given us a very good insight into what they are trying to do in the smart city, as in Smart City Kakinada. As far as I understand, he was just mentioning, this is a smart city within a big smart city Cochin, which will become a role model for the bigger city, where they will implement this smart city principle, for example, this centralized command center, etc. I hope that will become a role model for the smart city Cochin. Now I hand over the mic to Sohan sir, the ex-mayor, and what is your perception? You know, you're into the smart city project, the Kochi big smart city.
Thank you, Father. I feel rather threatened being a loner amid all these people who are highly technical people. I'm a non-technical person. Rather, you can call me a foot soldier going around the city for long years, absorbing things from the lower levels. What I understand from smart is just like when we call individual smart. You become smart when you have the confidence to take on the world. You become smart when you are confident that you can deliver, you can do this, you can take on issues. So a city, when it becomes smart, it has to have the basics ready. The former president, Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, in his book, from third world to first, there's a chapter called Putting the Basics Right. My understanding of smart city is to put all the basics right, which are not right now. The respected vice chancellors on record saying that we don't have water to drink. A city, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. The albatross story. So, smart city envisages a situation where we have 24/7 water supply. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Well, today the situation is maybe in some parts it is 2 hours daily, or 3 hours daily, or 4 hours daily. Maybe in the central part it may be better. So, to make a city smart, we have to put the basics right. But we have a shortage of 20,000 houses, so many other social needs which make a city smart is absent there. And for that, added to that, and we are banking on KMR, and Harry should have been here. Harry is the right person to be here. So KMR has gone way ahead before the smart city was announced to digitally operationalize all sort of things, the control room, as you, my friend said now, transportation control, so many other things they have gotten, single ticketing, that smart card, so many things that we have not even thought of. India has not even thought of. And enabling legislation that has to come. All these in the Unified Metropolitan Transport Act that's going to revolutionize the transport system in India. And when I talk about transport is the only factor that gives access to opportunities. The Indian Constitution starts with justice, social, economic and political. But even after 70 years, as a field person, I find that there's a big divide. It's not a digital divide. It's a social divide. Bharat and India. And unfortunately, Bharat is maybe 90%. And what is visible is the 10% of the India that is there. So that divide also has to be what the government envisages through the questionnaire that when we went through the questionnaire, in which Cochin fared quite well, as I said, with the help of KMR and also, Hari also, we fared very well. And we came, first we were shortlisted in the 20 cities out of 100. Then we came to in the list. So from the questionnaire, from the projects that have been envisioned, from the projects that have been approved, I understand that we are going to put the basics right. And those basics will be put right with the help of what we talked here, digital capacities, all those things that we discussed last year at the Rajagiri conference. That is the phase of smart city that we see. And it's only two portions of city, the Cochin city that has been there. One is Matanjeri and Port Cochin, part of it, and one is the area from the High Court to the Gandhi statue, this side of MG Road. So these are two phases of Cochin. One is, as I said, the slums are there, the heritage areas are there, the tourism areas are there, the very beautiful areas are there, and the opportunities lie here. And a connection, KMRLS envisages the water transport connectivity that is to be given, giving the poor access to opportunities. So that is the idea of smart city that, and any other inputs that we can get. All of you here are very technical people. On this side, more technical, more experience. Any inputs that can be brought into this will be highly helpful.
So I think the discussion goes in the direction that there is a divide, a social divide which we have to take into account. The need base. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's the thing. So there is a big need, but at the same time there is technology. So how the needs can be met with technology. So I think that is the direction Sohan sir is suggesting. So there is a big need, great divide, and can technology aid that? And so with this a twist in bit of a direction, can Mark contribute something?
Thank you. I'll give it a try. So I think that a smart city is a dream. It's a dream that our cities could function better than they do, and that technology could help. And I think this dream is in 3 parts. The first part is that we could instrument a city. Instrument a city on a fine scale, finer than it's ever been done before. That we could measure all the variables around water, power, traffic, access to healthcare. And we can measure all of those things in real time to a degree of precision that we've never known before. That's the first part of the dream. The second part of the dream is that we could integrate this information and analyze it in real time. So we can discover patterns, so we can discover needs, real societal needs that are manifest in the data that we're gathering. That's the second part. The third part is the hardest. The third part is to act on those findings. So it's one thing to instrument, another to analyze, another thing again to act. And so those findings need to turn into adjustments in real time that can change the behavior of the city, that can make life better. So that has to close the loop. The signals tell us what's going on. The analysis tells us what we could do to make it better. The action changes things. You need all 3. It's a good dream.
That is wonderful, sir. Maybe, can you enlighten us with your thoughts?
I like Mark's concept of a dream. I think that sometimes that dream has to be grounded in a reality. And I'll start by giving you my concept of smart and what I have the word smart to mean for me. The S is for simple. It must be simple. We have pages and pages of white documents and blue papers, etc., that are all so complex for the average layperson to understand. The concept of a smart city has to be simple. It has to be, the M is for it being measurable. Is what we're doing making a difference to the life of the people that the plan is put in place to serve? The objectives have to be achievable. The A is for achievable. It's no use setting unrealistic expectations. The people have unrealistic expectations of what they're going to achieve and what the plan sets out to achieve. When you have unrealistic expectations, you have frustration. If the plan is set to be achievable, we could get quick wins and everyone can say the concept of a smart city is working for us. The R is for revolutionary yet realistic. We want to make change, we want to dream, and we want to dream big. Yet at the same time, it must be grounded in realism. And the T is for it being transformational. We want to change the lives of people. If somebody lives in a smart city today and lives in the same smart city 2 years from now, and we've made no difference to their lives, how could we call it a smart city?
Thank you very much, sir. That was really thought-provoking. I think we got some very similar views from international guests. Basically, Mark was telling it's basically signals, analysis, and then we have to act on those ones. And that is also two. And again, Daddy was telling us, we have to dream big, but at the same time, we have to hold our foot on the ground. So, fantastic. Now, here comes the role of the technology. I think, the technology can actually help this, bridge this gap, or link that. Maybe Dr. Suresh Nayak?
Thank you for that. What I conceive as smart city is basically the Maveli Nadu, what we had earlier. Okay, this is Onam month. And we are trying to achieve same old thing using technologies. That is the only thing which I could think of. That's what we are visualizing whenever we go through all the white papers. Smart city is which is instrumented, interconnected, and intelligent. That's what Mark was also mentioning like that. There are so many sensors, devices, appliances, personal devices which are instrumented, which are sensed, and these are all interconnected so that we reap the benefit out of that. And finally you analyze the data and you come up with the intelligent. It's what we were talking about, societally help the people, the living. Now, this also requires, a lot of technology, lot of technologies are being developed in terms of sensors. So many types of sensors are coming up with. The interconnection, so many types and protocols and Wi-Fi, LoRa, sub-gigahertz, so many useful technologies are being developed. And data analytics, that is another major thing. So we big data here, so many sensors here, and I don't know how we'll be able to manage this data. So now the trend is like, don't just pump all this data to the cloud or a common place, but you do some analysis here itself, So sort of edge computing type of thing. At present, all these are connected through maybe fiber optic cables. I think that's what here also is being planned. And the fiber optic cable really behaves just like a pipe. Just put data, it will take it. But I think in future, all these things will not be just dumb cables. I think there also, there will be some intelligence built there itself. Otherwise, we will not be able to manage the whole thing. What I think is, my concern is like, even though so many devices and technologies are being developed, my concern is on the safety and security part of that. That also has to be given enough focus, because you are going to act upon the sensing data what you are going to receive. So how are you sure that that sensing data is okay? Okay, so it's a very, very thought-provoking idea. We need to put a lot of effort on that, and also a lot of public participation also. I remember once I was traveling in some city, I had to catch a flight. So I told the driver, taxi driver, you go fast. So he went, and he did not stop even on the red light, and he passed the red light. Then the police stopped him. Then he asked the driver, didn't you see this red light? He told yes. Then why did you pass? Then his answer was like, I did not see you. I did not see the policeman. That's why I passed. So, this is one thing which we need to, a public participation has to be there. It should not be just like the rules, regulations, and things like that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that was a good insight into the technology behind it and how it can be made helpful. And now, chance goes to Anfran Mendes from Cognizant.
Yeah, thanks for that. So, I work as an enterprise architect in Cognizant. So, my version of smart would be, I interact with a lot of people every day. So, be it developers or whatever it be. Okay, so my definition of smart would be minimal change, but maximum potential. Okay, so what I meant by this is, you cannot expect people to change in a jiffy. They cannot change as fast as you would expect. Your idea would be big, but you would not expect people to change as in a flash, right? But when it comes to the potential, what you would expect is, okay, so we'll just visualize with an example. As a frequent traveler, my productivity or my productive time gets stuck most of the time in traffic. So when I feel that, okay, so why is this happening? The traffic signals are in silos, right? So they don't have a mind of its own, right? So they'll just say, okay, within 5 minutes, go left, go right, make red, and then stop. It is not even smart to even visualize, okay, so you have around 10 vehicles here, move right or move left, stay there. You have an ambulance coming there, everybody stop and let the ambulance pass. It is not even smart for all those things. What can technology bring over there to make the traffic signals smart?
Okay. I think that is a very interesting thought. I think now almost all the panelists got a chance, and finally I think I will leave it to our Vice Chancellor to sum it up. On the basis that now we can say that there is a need which is rightly pointed out by Sovereign Czar, and then I think the smart city Kakinada is a kind of epitome of all those things. In a nutshell, they're planning to have a kind of a smart city which encompasses all of these good ideas. And then other panelists have shown us, how they can be transformed into this using technology. And now the question I need to ask to Vice Chancellor, what is it for the academy, for the students, for the staff?
Father has put me into a difficult situation. Everybody is talking about traffic signal. I just wanted to ask a question. When the traffic volume exceeds the limit, the traffic policeman, the first thing he does is he switches off the light. Are we willing to accept the change? Are you a law-abiding citizen? See, the traffic signal is something which can cater to a particular level of traffic. Beyond that, you require a flyover. Whatever technology is that will not work, because traffic signal can cater to only a particular level of volume. Beyond that, it cannot work. So that is why he switches it off. So when you talk about a smart city, you want to make things smarter. A new city which is planned, you can do all these things. As Balasubramanian said, that is something which you can do it. But an existing city is a big complex issue which has to be tackled only by technology. Technology has to play. I just give one small example. This change, are we willing to accept the change? Last week I saw a form in my house which was distributed by the corporation to fill up, to revise my tax. We are in the same old age 50 years back. We have a form which is given to me. Only a learned person can do it. Only an engineer can do it. And that too in a form. It's all wasting your time and my time and your time. Actually, we have a technology which is available. We should have made use of it. Nobody thought about it. The same old technology of preparing a form, getting it filled up, all rubbish, I fill it up and give it to the corporation. And I don't know how are we going to assess the tax. This is the kind of technology which we are employing. If we try to do that kind of an technology, it will never reach. So we have a large challenge with the academic community. We have to step in now and say to the government, sir, this is what you are doing is wrong. We have a technology available with us. But first of all, we have to develop the technology for that. No, in the sense, see, this is what I have been telling you, that the colleges will have to do an industrial internship and things like that. If you sit in the ivory tower of the engineering colleges, you will not understand what the people want. So, do you know that 40% of the water being supplied by the Kerala Water Authority is not priced? I mean, it's lost. I mean, it's not priced. I mean, you don't get the revenue for that. You don't have a water meter which can be digital, which should be run from the office and not by going to the site. We don't have a smart meter which is big. I mean, a smart meter for electricity, this one. No, these are things which are to happen. So how do you happen? Is only by changes which has to be brought by research and the involvement of academy, which only, only the academic institutions are there, which is not a practice in India today. All US universities are there, where the technology is being developed. We are not reaching that level. We have to do it.
Yes, I think on that note, I would say that there is a good agency over here. You were talking about the external already existing city and a new city. So the smart city is a new one coming up, and that is fairly easily that can be done. But working on an existing city, that is difficult. I think I will take some thoughts from the floor. Maybe Hari sir can talk from the floor. Is it okay, right? Not on the dais? No, not allowed. Okay, so they are not, KML is not allowed to talk. I think just as a person, you can just give some insights, what you are trying to do to make to build this divine. Working on an existing city.
So this smart city concept, what we are going to adopt in Kochi, it's a tip of an iceberg. It's on a very small area. It's a proof of concept, and this is basically connecting 4 points. The number one is the governance, the citizens and its opportunities anchored on social inclusion. So these are the 4 points. So though it does not mean that by smart city we are going to make for Kochi as a Dubai. No, it is factual.